This is a historic step forward in our efforts to normalize relations with the Cuban government and people and begin a new chapter with our neighbors in the Americas.
The president today taking a bold step in reestablishing ties between the U.S. and Cuba. Our top story tonight, the historic change. After half a century, the two countries will reopen embassies in their respective capitals later this month. Tonight, CBS 4 has live team coverage of the historic change, beginning with CBS 4 anchor Rick Folbaum. Rick?
Elliot, it's a big story around the country, but perhaps nowhere more so than here in South Florida. And you watch the announcement live right here on CBS 4. President Obama reversed more than a half century of U.S. policy towards Cuba today.
Today, I can announce that the United States has agreed to formally reestablish diplomatic relations with the Republic of Cuba and reopen embassies in our respective countries.
In Havana, the U.S.'s top diplomat delivered a letter from the president to Cuban President Raul Castro, formally sealing the deal. Cuba will officially open its new U.S. embassy in Washington, D.C., July 20th. President Obama now needs congressional approval for any further action, including selecting an ambassador and lifting the trade embargo.
And that's what this is about, a choice between the future and the past. Americans and Cubans alike are ready to move forward.
But some in Congress are promising to fight the president's decision, saying it legitimizes a government that has brutally suppressed its own people.
Cuba.
A sentiment echoed in Miami's Little Havana.
Cuban government is willing to become friend of its sworn enemy, but it's not willing to listen to its people.
Secretary of State John Kerry will open the U.S. Embassy in Cuba later on this summer. And Elliot, tonight the State Department says that the U.S. and Cuba have agreed to more talks about U.S. fugitives hiding from the government in Cuba and land that was taken from Americans after the Cuban Revolution. Elliot.
Rick, thank you. As news of the historic change